Hi, I want to ask you, have you ever used a digital stamp? I have been using them, and I want to share some projects with you today and talk about digital stamps. And I'm going to be using this Lily of the Valley digital stamp that I purchased, and I really like how versatile a digital stamp is. So if you don't know what one is, first of all, let me talk about that. A digital stamp is when you purchase a digital download from a company, and it's a picture of their image, and sometimes it's several images. I've also purchased ephemera for projects and made cards with those. But in this case, it's a black and white image that you print out yourself, so you don't get a physical product. And I find that my stash of stuff is growing large, and I enjoy buying and trying different stamps out. And this is just another way that you can have some fun creating and not have to actually have the physical stamp. So I'm going to share my projects with you. So hold on just a moment. So all the projects, like I said, all the projects that I'm sharing with you today are using the Lily of the Valley digital stamp that I purchased. Now you have to have a printer, and for some people that might be a hurdle. And you also need to be comfortable downloading and printing. But I am a former teacher, and so I had to do lots and lots of lessons, and I learned to do my advanced settings. So what I like about a digital download is using your advanced settings, which really is not that hard. You can change the size of the picture so that you have different opportunities. So all the projects I'm sharing with you today shows different sizes and different ways to use the same exact image. So for my first card today, I am doing a little card challenge on my channel, and Sandra of Atelier Vintage Rose, I want to make sure I say that correctly, she had given me a comment and told me to add love into my little card challenge. So I pull 2 of these every week, and from family and friends and you viewers, and I make a card based on those parameters. And so Layla, which is one of my grandnieces, wanted me to add a candle. So I had to have love and a candle. So for this card, I just received my Creative Time, these pretty scalloped rectangle frames, and they are a lot of fun. There's a little bit of a glare. I'm sorry about that. I am using some of these epoxy dots from Queen & Company. I had purchased from them, and these were part of a free gift because of the amount I spent that day. In a couple of my projects, you're going to find this purple paper and flower. And I use this Happy Birthday You Sweet Thing on this card, and the I Just Love You for the love message from this W+9. And I really like this Avery L set, really great. I bought it for all the different little elements in here, and you'll see those on my cards. So here's my first project. Now for this card, let me get that out of the way. For this card, you can see that I have the I Just Love You for my love, and this is the little cake from the Avery L set that I put right there into the teddy bear's hands. And This is the actual size that you get if you download it and just print it directly out. This is how big it is, and I have it on a 5 by 6.5 card base. And I Copic colored and put some pieces of, just to give it some little more elements, I added these little pieces of ribbon, cut out a few of the flowers from the paper, and then this was some paper that I have in my stash. It's actually a whole sheet, and I just cut part of it to give it more of the love. And let me show you the inside. I did the framelit again and have the happy birthday, you sweet thing. So I have covered both elements to have candle and love. So thank you, Sandra, for that suggestion of love, to add that in there. And I think this will make a very sweet young girl birthday card. So that's my first project with my teddy bear from Lily of the Valley. Let me show you the next project. So these are going to be, these are my Satmore makes, and it's hashtag 2crafters1design, because the ladies this week are asking us to share baskets. Let me open it to give less of a glare. And I had gotten this at a craft event. We had a table where you could purchase from one another. And these are from 1996, Stampin' Up! And I used this big basket stamp. And I used this part as well. And in this card, you're going to see, let me get this out of the way. I'm trying to use up these beach mats that I got from Creative Memories. I'm just using, they're great for small little projects, so I'm using some of those. And I did some watercoloring for this card. And here you go. Let's look. So for this card, I shrunk that little bear way down and fussy cut him out so you don't see the fence or any of that, and popped him up on some dimensionals. And I watercolored all of it. I actually used the inks, some of my ink, and I used these brush pens from Studio Series. I just will use it on a clear block. So I put some of it on this clear block and add a little water and put it on white paper so I can see what I'm doing, because I don't have a glass mat, and at this point I'm not buying one right now. So that's how I will work with my watercolors. And I have to tell you, I'm new at watercoloring. It's not something I've been doing a really long time, but it is a lot of fun. So here you see that scallop die, and I stamped some random dots around. And I also used this stamp that I acquired from one of my thrifty finds when I was thrifting, and I just stamped that around to just give it a little, so it just wasn't a blank background. And I had this strip. I used some scallop dies, and I think it is super, super cute. And this is just some ribbon I have in my stash. It was actually something someone didn't want anymore, and I thought, yeah, I'll take that piece of ribbon. And that's how I finished the inside. That's one of the stamps from that set, Wishing You Baskets of Happiness. And I see the difference in the size, and it's the same exact digital stamp. So that was a whole lot of fun. I kept going, everybody. So that's just my first two projects. Here's my next one. So this is what I've been doing all week. And I'm uploading on Saturday with the hashtag #SatMoreAndMakes. So in this card, I used these Sizzix dies. These are just scallop Sizzix dies, and these are circles. And this is a 2012 Stampabilities. I have had it a long time. Just trying to give you, and I'm using Just For You. So, and those aren't photopolymers, so they're a little harder to use sometimes. But here's my project. So I shrunk this one down to more of a medium size. It's not as big, so it's not as small. This is medium. And I did use Copic markers. And you can see I did it in brown, and I wanted him fuzzier than the original version. So I added more fur. I wanted him really toughed up, this little cute little brown bear. And I just added some more of the colors in there to make the blades of grass. I also used the little butterflies from that Avery Elle set. There's little butterflies in this set here. And that's what's great about these, that you can use it for so many different things. I added those in there around. And I took my, I took my pen, my black pen, and I went around all of the fur and went over everything so it stood out more. What I find when I use darker colors, that you definitely have to go back in with the digital and go over all the lines so that it stands out better. So I really loved, and this was some washi tape that I have in my stash. I had won a bunch of it, so I'm using it. And that's how I finished the inside. So I'm not sure what I'll use this one for. So right now, you can see that with a digital stamp, there's the medium, small, and large. And it's all the same image. Now, I do have one more project to share with you, and this was really, really fun. So I have in my stash these stamps, these wood stamps. I've had them quite a while. They're art impression from 1996, and there's the open window, and then I also have the window from the inside of the room. So I have it outside and inside. And for this card, I'm using the inside. I don't know if you can still get these, but if you have any kind of window, it's always fun to have your image peeking out. I also used from this Abstract Impressions from Stampin' Up! If Flowers Were Hugs, I send you 1,000. And here's my card. So I used it in the medium size. I did watercolor him. And this piece of paper that I had in my stash, I cut one of the little flowers out. And this is actually a stem from a different flower, but I wanted to use that one. So I glued it on top. For the curtains, I did paper piece. I stamped that on one of those mats that I showed you. And then I went and just took a gray Copic marker and went in there a little bit and gave it a little bit of shadow. And I took some ribbon and just did 2 curls and taped it on the ends and then popped it up on some foam. I did watercolor the background, or no, I did not watercolor the background, but you could have. That wasn't watercolor paper. I took a brush and just did some ink and blended it back there so that it was like he was outside popping in. And you can see where I used the scalloped die from my creative time. Let me show you the inside. I just put a strip of that paper, trying to use up some. I have a lot of 12 by 12 paper, and I'm trying to use it up. So if you have not considered digital stamps, but you're kind of on the fence, maybe you want to try them, this might be the time. So Lily of the Valley, when I purchased this, they were having a sale. And I paid $1.63. Now, I sometimes buy stamps and then don't use them enough. And so I feel like I'm not getting my money's worth. So if you're not sure about one, you can buy a digital and try it out. Sometimes they'll have a digital stamp. A company will have a digital stamp. And you try it. And then they'll have it in photopolymer too, and you can then maybe purchase it later if you think you'll use it enough. So I also have to, before I forget, pull for next time. And I'd love you to give me a comment below and tell me what you would like me making. Alright, I got to pull 2 of them. Let's see what I have to make for next time. And this was my 10th Pick a Winner challenge for myself. Okay. Alright, I don't know how this is going to work out. But my niece's husband wants Lord of the Rings. So I have to have Lord of the Rings. Okay. With, what's this going to be? A flower. My nephew's girlfriend wants a flower. I think I can handle this part pretty easy, but Lord of the Rings? Okay. Thank you for watching to the end. And go ahead and check out what everybody else is doing on hashtag SatMoreandMakes and hashtag 2Crafters1Design. Bye for now.